Hi, I'm Theresa Wilshusen. I'm a PhD candidate at the Polytechnic University of Valencia in Valencia, Spain. And today I am going to talk a little bit about Al Ghorfa, the Chamber, which is the project that I'm presenting here in Belgrade. I decided to come to Belgrade for multiple reasons. First was the opportunity that the residency offered me, not just with the time and space lining up with our schedules. The space for the exhibition was perfect for Al Ghurfa, and in reality, the place is culturally is very diverse and very different from that of Valencia. It has its own identity and it has a history past. So I wanted to present in a place where culturally people would perhaps find some similarities and commonalities with their own culture. And I could expand on some of the projects that I'm currently working on within Al Ghurfa. The project that I'm working on here in Belgrade is actually a combination of three different projects related to my PhD studies. I'll be working on Seeking Self, which is an instant photography project that will be continuing while I'm here, and I'll also be giving a workshop on it. Another project that I'm doing while I'm here, that I'll be exhibiting while I'm here, is the Gender Veil. And this is a ceramic project that's also part of my PhD, and Private Views, which is a resin collage piece. I began this idea back in about 2017. It started with the entrance into my PhD program. I was very fascinated with the concept of identity and further the identity and death related to those of ancient Egypt. And after the death of my own mother, I became even more interested in understanding how one identifies or expresses their identity posthumous. And I felt that these projects work together in a very cohesive way to express one's identity using three different mediums. I do believe that my cultural background influences my art continually in a lot of different ways. Being raised in a small town in the middle of the United States kind of created this sense of desire to travel, to understand different cultures and languages from a very young age. And I only first left the United States at 17 on a missions trip to Mexico. And that was the first taste of what it was like to be outside of America. From there, it always influenced my art because I was very interested in other cultures and designs from other cultures, in particularly in the beginning, Mexican art and folk art from Mexico. That was the first driver of my desire to travel more and to understand other cultures as an American artist and from an American perspective. I do think that being an open-minded American is not something that we're particularly known for, but we do exist, and I think that part of being an American artist is confronting the positive and negative of your own culture. And so by traveling, I'm doing that. I'm confronting biases that I have in my own culture. And through art, I'm experiencing a different world and a different perspective. There are many things that inspire me and particularly inspires my art. And a lot of those are some of the things that revolves around these projects, Al Ghorfa. One is culture, primarily, and identity, probably a very close second, if not at the same level. For me, culture is inherent in who we are, and it forms part of our identity. And while that can't change, I think it is flexible, and it really, for me, pushes the boundaries of our identities and influences it in a great way. So those two are probably the most influential things for me and in my art. Two of the main themes that I'm interested in are culture and identity. And within Al Ghorfa, these three projects within Al Ghorfa express those things. They express identity, they express culture, and they question both of those things at the same time. There are two approaches for me in developing my career, which is first, artistic cultural exchange. I find crucial to developing any sort of connection, and the second would be networking. So through artistic cultural exchange, you can create a network of other artists, people who are either like-minded or very different in their approach to making their own art. But all of this is influential in how one inspires themselves and drives forward. And keeping connections open is obviously very important. So keeping those networks going through these exchanges is fundamental. So through travel, exchange of ideas, cultural and artistic influence as well. This will drive any artist forward and keep their art developing. Like other artists, I'm generally looking for opportunities where I can both exhibit but also sell my artwork. I find that having a diverse portfolio and also having a diverse platform or a variety of platforms to show my work on is important. So it comes through advertising my work, going to art exhibitions myself, just to network while I'm there, hand out my business card in person. This helps a lot. But as well as having my own website, having social networking sites as well, keeping those updated as much as I can, selling to people that I know who will also recommend me to other people as well. It kind of starts locally and expands out in kind of a web. So you have to start local and expand through that. But then, of course, you have an ability to reach an even greater audience online. And this is fundamental to expanding anyone's business. However, going to art exhibitions and networking really expands your network further, so not only to buyers, but to just have name recognition in other places. And you might be the inspiration for somebody else. So gaining more opportunity through networking actually pays the bills at times. It gets your name out there, and somebody might recommend you to somebody else, just as in someone they might be interested in, and that might get your work sold as well. Some challenges that I find as an artist with engaging in the art world is primarily money. People like artists who are making art typically don't have the money, and we're always seeking out funding or opportunities to be sponsored or to be recognized so that we can continue making art for all different types of people. So that's a big challenge for artists, is where do we find the funding to create this grand idea that we have or this great work? It often falls on the artist to do that. And so it's important to support local artists and any artists that you know, to keep the work going and for these ideas to come out, because you might, as an artist, have a really great idea, but you won't be able to execute it because of lack of funding. So support of the arts is so important. So I would say that's one of the biggest challenges. My work aims to say quite a few things, but rather say something it challenges ideas that already exist. A lot of my work, my current work anyway, especially the work that I produced during this PhD, is questioning ideas that we already have about ourselves and what we believe we are and who we are, and challenges the idea of self-expression and the self-expression we have in life and the expression we have in death. How will we be remembered, and how do we want ourselves to be remembered? My biggest motivation in life is to really be happy. I think that that's what most people want. Being happy to me means some degree of success, but more than that, it's creating artwork. Like, if I am able to just create artwork every day, that would make me happy. If I didn't have to worry about all the things that come with being an artist and just living life in general, anyone's life, it would make me very happy to not have to worry about those things in the future. So for me, that's something that I look forward to, is just being able to be an artist, and only an artist, and perhaps a teacher, because I also enjoy that. But being a teacher and an artist are kind of my primary goals. I think that the role that artists play in society are that of taking dreams and ideas and putting them into a physical or digital concept that is tangible for people to consume. Not in a consumeristic way, but in a way that they can devour those ideas and see them in an actual palpable way. As an artist, our role is to make the world beautiful, create beautiful things, and enrich people's lives through art. I've really enjoyed my time at Belgrade Artist in Residence. I find that Belgrade is a very diverse city. It's rough around the edges, but the people are incredibly kind, and the city itself is beautiful and it's rough around the edges. Like I said, it shows you a different side of Europe, and I think it's really important for people to come to Belgrade and see the rest of Serbia as well. The people are incredible, and I think that they really change your perspective on what people might already have preconceived about Serbia in general, but in Belgrade in particular. So I think that my experience has been good. I've been here once before and had a wonderful experience, and I came back for one of those reasons, that it was just a wonderful experience. The people were incredible. The city is very interesting, very diverse, and has a lot to offer. I had a very warm welcoming, both by the residents as well as the local people who came to see the exhibition. I was surprised at the comments that I got. They were all very positive and very interested in the work itself. I got a lot of questions about my inspiration, and then people coming to me after reading some of the posters around in the exhibition and providing me with their own thoughts on it, which is wonderful, because as artists, we don't typically get to engage directly with the community and the audience that's viewing our work. So to be able to have this experience and to be really overwhelmed with positive comments, I was very surprised. Not surprised with the positive comments, but surprised at the type of comments that I got, which were them sharing a lot of their own experiences about their perception of identity and how they perceived each of the artworks. And it felt wonderful to hear how they perceived it directly, knowing that my intention was actually executed in a way that they could be perceived correctly, or in the way that I had hoped. So it's not often that our artwork is always understood the way we intend it. And that's part of the subjectivity of art. But it's wonderful to hear that so much of it was perceived in the way that I had hoped. And then to hear others' experiences about it and was really encouraging as well. And they, many of the people who I spoke to were so glad that I came and had this exhibition, and they said they would like to see more people challenging these ideas in their artwork. So it was wonderful.